In my review of the Tavor X95, I found it to be a great shooter, a refined design, and extremely reliable. Check out that video if you haven't, but it's not perfect. No gun is.
My P320 Glock
perfect.
19 is
The
perfect.
military Enough! Now, since I just did an upgrades video on the ARX Delta, I decided to explore the space gun aftermarket community and see what's on offer. Now, I'm gonna say up front that I understand bullpups aren't for everybody. They can be expensive, they have limited selection, and they're innovative, which means they're different.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2 world wars.
Likewise, their limited adoption means that some aftermarket parts can be expensive, but I'm not gonna cover anything here that I don't think is worth the price. And if you're a never bullpupper, that's fine. Let's just explore technological developments, new and old, celebrate our Second Amendment rights, and have a good time. Because without the second, the rest can be taken at a tyrant's folly. And you know they will, because they're trying to. So we'll start up front, work our way to the back, and we'll make some friends along the way. So initially I went with this Break Comp Hybrid by MFT. It looks great, it has noticeable recoil reduction while also hiding flash, but it put out a lot of concussive force near the operator, me, which was a bit jarring. Now I did it for you. And don't get me wrong, loud and cool are usually an obligatory win, but I'm getting old, and things that rattle my teeth start to lose their luster a little more each day, maybe because I don't have dental insurance. So a linear compensator or a suppressor was the obvious choice. Initially, I was gonna go with this, a Special Ops Tactical Buzzsaw 2.0, which I've had my eye on for a while because it features a very aggressive, badass design milled from a solid piece of titanium, which means it only weighs 3 ounces. I call it the Spice Grinder. Unfortunately, no fault to its own, it didn't work with this build, so I went with this Kaw Valley Precision linear comp, which is fine. It's just not nearly as cool as this would have been here. I am gonna redeem this. You'll see this show up on another build because I like it so much. Now the reason it didn't work was this handguard by BLKLBLbipod. And in my initial discussion with BLKLBLbipod, we decided that we wanted to go with a tucked look. And I don't mean the boys swimsuit section at Target. Target, what you're doing is evil. I will never shop at your store again. I hope you go out of business, kiss my ass. That's only a constraint with this model paired with this barrel length, so don't let that take away from just how well thought out it is. First, it substitutes the factory 3 Picatinny rails with M-LOK, which I find to be much more versatile and comfortable. There are plenty of slots on the side and on the bottom, along with cutie sling mounts. And I also appreciate the long model having extra real estate in front of the Picatinny rail for a C-grip, which I find very comfortable. And then there's the main party trick, an integrated bipod. I personally haven't seen anything else like this. The legs are magnetically held in place when stowed, and it can be easily deployed by just pulling them down. When they're fully deployed, they lock into place and can be released by individual buttons up front. This area accommodates the joints, buttons, and 40 degrees of cant rotation, all while being flush, which is what constrains the internal diameter. If you get one of their non-bipod models, which are much cheaper, you won't have this limitation. The legs telescope to roughly double the length of the bipod, revealing carbon fiber legs, which are well made and keep things light, topped off with rubberized pointed feet. A dial on top allows you to loosen and tighten resistance of the cant rotation so you can level it out and lock it back in place for any terrain. Combined with a closer alignment to the barrel, it makes for a very stable and very versatile platform. I'm genuinely impressed with the design, and now that I have a less concussive muzzle device, prone shooting is much more enjoyable and less dusty. Now the price on this is almost 600 bucks, which might seem like a lot, but let's consider how much it does. It transforms the look of the gun for the better. It improves the accessory mounting capability by quite a bit. The bipod is very well made and is completely out of the way when stowed, and it's much more comfortable compared to the factory forend. Now BLKLBLbipod also produces handguards for the AR-15, AR-10, and the Desert Tech MDR in various lengths with or without the bipod. Now they did provide this unit to me for the review, but I can honestly say I would spend my own money on one of these. In fact, I'm considering one for my next AR build. Now on the bottom, I went with a vertical foregrip, mainly to keep my hand free of the side charging handle. Now my original plan was to replace the handle, but relocating my grip fixed the issue. Now I did consider the Manticore arms folding charge handle, and Manticore did send me out a couple other items, but the charge handle was out of stock, so I decided to allocate my money towards other things. If you have tried it, Let me know in the comments below and if you liked it. Now the thing that's been blocking the view of the handguard this whole time is the Streamlight Protac 2.0. It's a 2000 lumen weapon light, and it's as powerful as it is girthy. And it's pretty girthy. You know what else is girthy though? My love for X-Star USA, and conveniently this episode is sponsored by them. They produce the wonderful EP9 and EP45 polymer wonders, and I think they represent one of the best bangs for your buck in the firearms market, even if you're not shopping for budget items. Check out my videos on those. They also make 18-round Glock mags, and they're just wonderful people to work with overall. Swing on over to xstarusa.com and make sure to tell Josh congratulations on getting married. Starting a family is one of the best things you can do. I highly recommend it. I also recommend getting ammo from Global Ordnance, who graciously supply this channel, and they always have great deals going on and giveaways. Lastly, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out, and check out my Instagram at 12spies. That's 12_spies. For a sling, I'm running a Grovtec Heavy Gunner. This is a quick adjust sling, and I really like the pad. It's nice, it keeps it from getting stuck in my body armor. It's not entirely necessary, but I do like it, and this is a heavier gun as configured. It also has a nice quick release buckle here, so you can get out of it quick if you need to. And then up front, the quick adjust loop is very easy to manipulate. It's very eager to adjust, and it's much faster than the Magpul one I had on previously. And it's also lined with leather on the inside, which is comfortable, but it also kind of keeps it in a loop better, so it's just easier to grab onto in a pinch when you do adjust it. So this is a fantastic sling. I do recommend these. Now, I've played with different optic setups. Initially I was running a Swampfox Arrowhead 1:10 LPVO with a canted red dot, a Kraken, and that setup worked well. But now I went to a Swampfox 5X Prism, which I have a full review on. I just like it better. It's easier to acquire. It has a much larger field of view and higher light transmission. Plus, it looks dope. Now, originally I gave up on trying to get one of the pistol grips from IWI in green or black, which are always out of stock. However, very late into this video, I just decided to order an Underworld Arms pistol grip, which are regularly in stock, and I'll provide my impressions on that when it arrives at the end of this video. Now, moving back, Manticore Arms provided an ambidextrous safety selector, which I prefer. The engagement on the safety has a tad more resistance than I prefer, and I like being able to sweep my thumb and index finger rearward for engagement. Installation does not require stripping down the gun, but the Geissele trigger pack and blade do. However, it's totally worth it. This is probably the most noticeable upgrade overall, plus I enjoyed the challenge of field stripping the gun. After my Tavor X95 review, one of the viewers reached out and said that they would sell me their trigger and blade unused for super cheap, and it was super cheap, so I jumped on that. Big thanks to them. I appreciate a helpful community. But before I get inundated with offers in the comments to buy your AR or your truck, that's not what I'm doing here. Don't do that. But boy, is this thing better. No longer does it need to apologize for being a Bullpup trigger, or does it forfeit benefit to an AR. It's much tighter, crisper, and the pull measures between 2.4 and 3.2 pounds. That's nuts. Also, the reset is shorter. I like the upgraded blade as well. It's much more comfortable, and the overall result is that you can shoot much faster, you get better feedback, and it moves the Tavor closer to a best of both worlds gun. Geissele recently reduced the price on each. I'm not sure for how long, but the pack is now $350 and the blade is $75. Yeah, that's more than most AR triggers, but if you get a Tavor, you're willing to spend more, and it is worth it, believe me. Now, out back is a replacement butt pad for Manticore arms. The factory pad is just too squishy and too grippy, making it difficult to place or adjust in your shoulder at times. Now, their angled pad sits higher in the shoulder, it's easier to adjust, and it shortens the length on the bottom. Fun fact, the butt pads are this long by design. Without it, the gun would be under the legal limit and would be considered an SBR. There is a relatively flush option offered by IWI that will definitely make it an SBR. Now, Manticore Arms provided the safety and the butt pad, thanks to them. And there you have it, all the upgrades. And yeah, they're not cheap. But if you're looking to make your X95 the coolest and most functional X95 that you can, I highly recommend any of these upgrades. All right, so let's talk this pistol grip that I got from Underworld Arms. It was a very last minute purchase, so I haven't had it out in the field yet, but so far I like it. Now, the grip angle is very similar to a Magpul MOE, and Even though I like more vertical grips, it does feel very natural here. The overall quality is not as nice as the polymer one that you get factory, just because this matches the quality of the gun and it feels really, really good, really substantial, and I like the texture on it. And I also like the factory one because it's a little thicker. So here, if I'm holding it and I'm tilting it, I get that pressure against my middle finger, and it just gives me more leverage on this axis. So, excited to try it out more in the field. It was 25 bucks. They're regularly in stock, unlike the pistol grips that you can get from IWI. I think the tan one was the only one that was in stock last time I checked. It's just kind of known that they're out of stock. So 25 bucks, I paid like $17 in shipping, so it was about 38 total. But I think it looks good. It just departs it even further from the factory Tavor look, makes it look more unique. Also, while we're here, Unity just sent me these. This should be yesterday, based on release time. This riser. They sent me a couple other risers, but these are very substantial, very well made, and I really like how it puts, the Saber sits a little low for my taste, and with the way that the Tavor cheek riser is, it's just a little low. So you end up kind of tilting your head to get low enough to get proper sight alignment. You know, you're kind of shooting down like this. This gives you a much more upright and natural sight alignment, which I like, and it should prove to be faster. So thanks to Unity. Great quality stuff, and yeah, last minute stuff, but we're here to do it anyway. Thanks for watching, and remember, evil loses in the end. I know it's easy to get worked up and discouraged by what we see in the news or what's going on around us, but just like your gut health and how what you put into your body can greatly affect your cognitive and mental well-being, what you let into your mind can have the same effect on your spirit. So give yourself a limited window to see what's going on, to make an informed opinion, and then focus on other things. Focus on God, focus on your family, your children, your friends, and having a spirit of gratitude wherever you go, no matter the circumstance. Imagine this, if you woke up tomorrow only with the things that you were deliberately thankful for today, what would you still have? I want to issue a challenge. Be generous to someone in the near future, but do it in secret. An anonymous gift has several benefits. First, it prevents the recipient from feeling obligated to someone else, or from feeling like they have to pay it back with another gift. Rather, it will inspire them to be generous in the same way when they're able to. And second, it gives glory to God. Matthew 6:2 addresses this, that sometimes giving gifts or being generous is more about our own gratification and outward visibility, receiving praise, rather than just being obedient and generous. Have a great week. Be strong and courageous, and recruit for the kingdom. Not shady at all, just, I'm on the edge of glory. Okay, so
Go ahead.
Start with this one. Just know that it is loaded and it is chambered, okay?
Nice.